This is designed.
Hey, listen.
How far did you get in this game? Now, how far did you get in the game?
Hello, Ada. So I guess I got to the very end. I thought I beat it, but I only watched Wilt, my partner, beat it. So I have seen the ending, and in my conflated memory, I thought I had beat it, and they were like, "No, because you did it. You watched me beat it."
Your partnership is not only fiscal and relational; it's also mind space.
Yes,
Will sounds very needy, if I may say. He's like, "No, you watch me do it."
I think it was the opposite.
Feel my muscle.
Watch me beat this game. You won't really like it.
He's missing the hand gesture where he's slicking his hair back.
Yeah, that's me.
Tossing. Well, the bangs get in your eyes.
Yeah, they do.
It's tough.
I remember when I had them.
Maggie Mae Fish is with us today.
Hey, guys.
Yeah.
On another 1Upsmanship. Thanks for being here, Max.
Of course.
I'm Michael.
And I'm Adam.
Yeah. And I already said the name of the show. But in case someone clicked on this somehow by just jabbing at their phone without reading the title.
Wow, do you think that still happens?
What are we playing today, Max?
We're playing Subnautica.
Yeah, we are.
Blub, 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 blub.
Yeah, we are.
Drowning sound.
This is very funny because I feel like you and I have talked about this game a lot, but I have no idea what your opinion, Adam, of this game is.
That'll be interesting.
We'll
then.
get to
We'll
it.
see what I say.
Yeah, let's get right to the meat of it. The soggy, distant meat.
The soggy, salty meat.
Yeah.
If you wanted to stay good longer than 10 minutes.
Well, okay, we'll talk about strategies as well. I found myself never salting.
You didn't salt a meat ever?
No, because once you get the graph gun, it's so easy to just go, and the heat blade, to go, I'm hungry, time to get lunch.
Yeah.
Come here, cook you, eat you immediately. Come here, cook you, eat you.
That makes sense. I like salting. I felt very pioneer.
I was kind of more of a nutrient block guy.
How do you end up making... All right. Let's pass the first checkpoint. And I'm going to say a mysterious alien transmission was intercepted, and the only words decoded were murder and then your name.
Yeah, it's on your PDA.
So you're
just like search through there.
You're being
You'll find
hunted, my friend.
Yeah.
Set a Google alert for stop stabbing me, because that's what's going to happen to you. Part 1 of 1Upsmanship is something we call the speed run, where someone explains the game for someone who's never played it before as quickly as possible.
Okay.
Maggie, would you take the speed run?
I will absolutely. Adam, have you never played this before?
Start the clock!
Ding, ding, ding! Okay, so you crash land on this planet. Oh, this is going to be really bad. There are going to be so many comments that are making fun of me. Just, okay, so
it can be the plot,
land.
the gameplay, whatever it means to you. It doesn't have to be all-encompassing.
Okay, so you crash land on this planet. You have nothing. Uh-oh, what do? Okay, but except there are some things that you have. You were sent
She's
there.
A liar.
You were sent there to one, investigate an old spaceship that had crashed there. What happened? Oh, we don't know. Except we do know because we find ruins scattered a bunch all over the planet. However, also there are aliens all over the planet that you need to avoid. However, also one of these aliens is basically a god who you need to befriend and hatch their little younglings so that they can continue to prosper while also getting off the planet. How am I doing on time?
Stop the clock.
I'd say until the at the end. We were looking at a
you
record
really dragged.
breaking.
That's true. That's going to ding you that long. At the end.
That was unfruitful.
That was definitely plot down.
Yes.
Which it's always interesting whether people go gameplay or plot.
Most people do.
I
go
love
plot.
the story.
The most interesting thing about the game probably, or that bears the most unpacking, is gameplay. So let's just save it for the middle. And go right.
I think I disagree with that.
You think we should say, because there's a fair chance people haven't.
Your value judgment about what's most interesting about this game.
Oh well, that's
it's
fine.
a philosophical
But
question.
no, it's just an opinion. Don't try to pit us against each other because it'll work.
All right, let me rant. Let me rant right at your fucking
Your
face.
player one this
there we
time,
are.
so
Yeah,
go
I'm gonna
for
do
it.
Okay, Subnautica, a game that I was asked to play by Mike, which normally means I will have indifferent or negative feelings about it. This time I didn't. I tried about 5
I felt
hours.
nothing at all.
I was numb the entire time. No, it was like a heroin glaze. No, so like I played 5 hours of it and thought it was like kind of like obtuse. Mm-hmm. And then I gave it another shot, and I played it all the way through, nights on end. And it was great. I think that this game is one of the few times that I enjoy a story being intentionally diffuse and hard to track down. Mm-hmm. You know, like, I think I liked that in this game. I don't always. This time I did. I did find the crafting to be rewarding, and I didn't want to do the amount of crafting that's in a game like Minecraft. So this was, like, the right amount for me. I did like that the crafting required you to learn new things about the biomes and like the things that are out there. I did like the alien shit. I did like the narrative overall. I didn't think it was perfect. I think that the game itself is it runs really poorly, and that's a thing that should be fixed no matter how many developers. That's weird to me that it doesn't run right. I also thought there were about 8 times that the only way I could have advanced in the game is to Google somebody who already did it. Ooh. Because I'm not going to do the thing that I find my companions in Destiny 2 will do, which is like fucking learn binary code or whatever to solve a problem, or like I'm going to spend 100 hours combing the seafloor so I know exactly where these rocks are.
And it's funny in Destiny 2, it always boils down to, everyone stand on the buttons for a while.
Yeah.
No, Destiny 2 has some puzzles that are definitely like, this is designed for the one person on the internet that's going to do it.
It's incredibly cryptic.
And the rest of you are going to Google it.
But the solution is kill the thing and move to the next room. You just have, it takes forever to figure out how.
Your reductive summary of Destiny 2 will
different
be different
episode, motherfucker.
No, but for real, this game I thought had a couple of moments where it was too diffuse, so I had to Google the answer, and I just did that because I was like, I'm not going to fucking work to figure this out because I'm an adult and I want my game to just go, you know? Which maybe says a lot about me, but I'm not going to acknowledge it. Otherwise, really liked it.
Do you Google stuff in Destiny 2 in similar situations?
I Google things that I know are going to be a big puzzle.
Because you can get as you delve into it, you can tell you're like, this is one of those things.
Well, okay, so check this out. So, like, famously in Destiny 1, there was a weapon called Outbreak Prime. Right? Outbreak Prime was part of an expansion, and like in order to solve this thing, you had to complete the raid like two different times, and they had a literal binary code that then had to be entered by people standing on things. It was insane. It was there for the 2 gamers who were like, I'm going to solve this. It'll be me. And congratulations, bro.
Congratulations, those 2 nameless people.
Yeah, their names are somewhere, but I forgot them. You know, like congratulations,
Michael Swaim and Maggie Fish.
If you guys learned binary to solve a puzzle, I would have 8% more respect for you.
Ooh.
8%. You want it?
That's
no. I don't need it.
100. No, 1000 is 8. Right?
Oh,
only you know.
Adorable.
Only I know binary? The sheer power.
You're like a genie.
Time for my rant?
Genie.
It's been your time, my friend.
Ranting here, player 2. I think the operative word that you mentioned that needs to be underscored more. Because also this is not a mega hit game. This is an indie game made by a small team. I didn't have as much trouble. I am able to cut things slack when they're ambitious gameplay ideas executed by a small team.
Agreed.
When stuff doesn't run well, I'm like, well, that's
it's not
why
that
it doesn't.
Small, by the way.
Not that small, but my brain is able to go, it doesn't run well because they're trying to cram a lot in.
Sure.
Yeah.
Other than when we just covered Assassin's Creed 2, I'm like, but you have all the money. It should be perfect. Like, it should never glitch ever.
Right.
Which is why I think people are rightly, like, when a Rockstar game hits and it's broken, they're like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah.
And they immediately riot.
And they patch it and fix it, but it takes time.
Yeah.
But my point with Subnautica is, I think the most operative thing you said was Minecraft.
Yes.
Which is a game that everyone knows.
Yeah.
And a key comparison point for Subnautica, so I'm just going to use my rant time as a public service to explain that, it's Minecraft with a very key, what I would call creative limitations put on it, that I actually think makes it such an important iteration on Minecraft, because I do think it's hard to argue that it wouldn't exist without Minecraft existing.
Yeah.
But usually when someone goes like, and here's a twist on that, it's like a Saints Row Grand Theft Auto thing where, like, even I, who find Saints Row fun, admit it's a cash grab based on the larger property.
Right.
Subnautica felt like the team played Minecraft and was literally like, with a few restrictions, this game would feel totally different and like this, and that's cool. And they just made it, and I like it better than Minecraft. For my money, hour to hour, it's more addictive. I stay with it longer, like I did more sessions over time than I have with Minecraft, and I find Minecraft addictive. But this even more so. And the key differences are it has a beginning, a middle, and end. The map is not procedurally generated. It is static and constant. And maybe that's it. We'll get into more detail, but
There's
I think that's where there's others. But to me, those changes are the big ones that made it very, like, this is a totally different game. And of course, as the title implies, that it's 90% swimming or navigating underwater.
Yeah.
I would add to it, and I think this is really important, the environment is hostile.
That's true
Yeah,
in
Subnautica.
Minecraft too, though.
Yeah.
Nowhere near as hostile.
Creepers, Endermen,
At night.
all that stuff. Yeah.
Not all the time.
Yes, this is hostile all the time.
This is a survival game.
Yeah.
Yeah, light
Horror
survival
in some
element.
points. I was
Yep.
terrified.
Couple times.
Which I loved the like
Yeah.
subtle like horror elements in it.
You were streaming this a lot.
I did.
Yeah.
I
Well,
streamed
Yeah,
this a
also
lot.
just the fact that it takes place underwater with giant things makes it obviously different from Minecraft
Yeah.
because I agree that I think it's natural human thing. That's way scarier than a cube that blows up. But in Minecraft, you are terrified when a creeper wrecks your shit. And you're like, no.
Yeah, but I think it's more like, oh, I built this cool thing, not like, oh my god, I'm going to get eaten by this giant hammerhead snake. You know,
I do
like,
think I do not really enjoy Minecraft, but I love Subnautica. So whatever the like subtle differences, it really clicked with me.
I
which is
have some
interesting.
theories on that.
But
I
it's
would
time
love to
for-
hear because I truly do, I wish I liked Minecraft more than I do.
It's time for the Player 3 rant. Hit it, Maggie.
Okay. Gosh. I guess my rant is just gonna be that I appreciate I think it's beautiful in a lot. It's beautiful. I love the time they took into creating basically like a fantasy realm. It felt very like it felt almost like D&D like, except you're alone. But I felt very like submerged in the story, and
I like that you decided.
Oh!
I like that you decided that was your bit. You knew that it was a risk.
Yeah.
You went all the way in.
Like a fish, right?
Well,
That's
I
what
truly
she's going
couldn't
for?
even
Yeah.
think of another word, so I was just like hammer at home.
Yeah.
That's what
Hammerhead
my
snake
mom
at
does
home.
with
Yeah.
jokes.
I took to it like a something to water. I don't know.
But no, it's true. I like it just felt very like I was in another world, very escapist, while being engaging,
Yeah.
which I really loves, and I don't think is a very easy balance to strike.
Yeah.
I feel like games either go one way or another, and it's just very fun to like escape into Subnautica for hours on end.
This is the first time I've realized that Mike and I are actually daunting podcast hosts. Because like the
Really?
entire time that Maggie was explaining it, you were looking at us like, what are you gonna do with this opinion? And we gave you nothing.
Yeah.
We gave you no face at
No,
all.
well-
It's the face of calculating what
Yeah,
to say
exactly.
next. That's all.
Exactly.
It's like when you're walking on the street and you see someone through the window and they're just alone in their home and their facial expression looks like they are going to murder someone.
Yeah.
Like they're so full of hate. And then you realize it's just their no expression face. Like their face is just empty of all facial
Yeah, so that's
expression.
what it's like
by
hanging
then-
out with you guys.
And by then, you're like,
That's our
I'm going to
face.
kill them
Yeah.
first.
That's what we
You know,
like to do.
Oh, I'm gonna kill them first.
Oh, you're going to
I
kill
got
somebody?
this.
I'll kill you. You'll see who gets killed. Yeah.
Yeah, good rant.
Yeah,
Great rant.
It's beautiful.
Did
It's
we
beautiful.
remember to
Lyrical, really.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
That's
Oh.
too. That's too much.
That's okay. We're going to make our
Did we
mobile-
remember to start the clock during the speed run?
You might
the
have really
clock?
fucked it up. Like, we might not even know what to do.
All right.
Oh,
Because I can't. It breaks
Error,
the.
You do it.
Your noises are awesome today.
Oh, thank you. It's been a
What are
long
you
day.
doing? You are a crazy person.
Was that a
I love
clock?
it.
Was that your clock?
It was an emergency signal.
Klaxon. It was a you fucked up warning.
Yeah, yeah,
It
yeah.
was a clock
Wee,
if the
wee,
clock
wee.
needed to be oiled with an old-timey can. Yeah.
Point is, if I didn't say it, I can't put the sound in. She shoots
might
to
be
the
a
top
top.
of the leaderboard because her
Yeah.
time is officially 0 seconds.
That's
Thank you.
fucked.
Thank
It's
you.
unfair,
Thank you.
but
Thank you.
the league rules being what they are, there's nothing we can
mean-
do.
We need to have a conversation about the
Yeah.
bylaws, my
That's
friends.
on our other podcast where we just talk about the rules for this
Just talk
the
about
podcast.
rules of our
bylaws.
podcasts.
This podcast.
Yeah.
So we'll
moving
pass
into-
another checkpoint.
Yeah, we're going to build our mobile vehicle station.
We're gonna sleep in a bed, and because night is scary and
Yeah.
day is awesome,
Yeah.
so we gotta wait.
Yeah.
And that saves your game and gets us into game. Because you're underwater. That's
I liked it.
trying to make it.
I liked it a
themed.
lot.
Game
Whoa.
on is
I
where
didn't
we
get
just
it till you said it.
just talk about the game.
Okay.
And yeah, go for it if you got something.
I do. In
Ooh.
fact, a couple of questions for you guys.
All
What
right.
was the thing you spent the most time doing in this game?
Searching for material. I
Okay.
think I spent a lot of time, and
And
I
is
did
it
end up
fun?
looking up some.
Is it fun?
Yes, I liked exploring.
Yeah.
There were times where I put the pressure off to build the next
Yeah.
thing or whatever, and I just explored and gathered, and that was satisfying for me.
I think the game forces you to do that sometimes. Mm-hmm. Like the game sometimes is like, listen, you're not going to find enough of this, whatever it is, gold. You're not
Nickel.
going to find it. Yeah,
Nickel.
nickel.
Uh-huh.
You're not going to
Fucking
find it for a while.
nickel.
See,
was
I
that the
may
one
as well.
you emailed me about? One of these
I
you
emailed you
me.
and was like, just tell me where's the fucking nickel.
Where's the fucking nickel?
You didn't Google it?
It was kind of hard to find.
It was tricky to find, and then
it
I
was
didn't
tricky.
want to. The video is always like, "Hey guys, it's Chester."
Especially for
And
this
it's like
game.
a 45-minute video of you scrolling through, being
Yeah.
like, "Just
Yeah.
say the words. It's in this region,
Right.
motherfucker."
Now you're going to get into your ship.
Exactly.
And then you'll launch it as you do.
I got an orange stripe on my ship. As if you can see here, it looks pretty sweet.
Right. I did one
And
of the
then it's
three
always-
colors.
yeah.
And then no fault of theirs, it's always like, "Oh fuck, oh this thing's attacking me. Okay, wait. Oh, okay, I got to die and reset. Just hold on." And it's like, edit your shit, bro.
Thank God I brought an extra battery. Nope, I dropped the battery. Now I'm starting to get interested in this YouTuber.
Yeah. What is that guy's deal?
Yeah, okay, so I spent the most time collecting things, and I found this game was exactly 30% more of that than I wanted to do.
Oh,
Exactly
okay.
that amount. It was like I
Interesting.
enjoyed it for about 70% of the time, and then there are a few times, especially when you get into the deeper sea levels, like where you have to find that fucking blue crystal in the lava place.
It took me
It's
for
like,
yeah.
what
Yeah.
the fuck?
It took me forever to start making aerogel. There's
Yeah.
definite choke
Yeah.
points at some of the tech tree stuff.
I felt a lot. I got not frustrated.
just like
frustrated is the
resource
wrong word.
balance
Yeah.
in the world.
Yeah.
Especially because it's a handcrafted world. It is not Minecraft, so it's truly not like there's a 30% chance when you
Right, there's
click
someone
on
to
this
blame.
brick, it'll be emerald like in Minecraft. It's someone scattered these rocks here and picked how many of each there would be where. And sometimes you were like, come on, it's a little unfair. Can't you give me
Yeah.
some of this anywhere?
Just
I've only
give me the
encountered-
lithium. Fuck you. Give me the
Yes.
lithium.
I've been
Oh my
playing for
God.
50 hours and I've never even seen that. I've never
Yeah.
encountered that thing you
Right.
said I need, and
Yeah.
I've been playing for a long time.
What are you talking about? Ionized battery. What the fuck is an ionized
And they're
battery?
like, "Oh, that needs aerogel," and you're like,
Yeah.
"What is that?" You're like, "I'm
Yeah.
3 levels away from this," but
Like, say goodbye, Tuesday. Because that's how this is going to be.
I'm be looking for aerogel, I guess.
I do think, yeah, it could be balanced more, and I'm very excited to play the sequel out now.
Me too.
Below
Yeah.
Zero.
Uh-huh.
Me too.
Because so you're on a water planet, which fun science fact is one of the most prevalent kinds of planets in the universe,
I don't
other
know if that
than
was
ones that are barren rocks.
Fine, I like water.
No, but like we
I'm gonna be
think
helpful
of,
now.
arable land is not always a thing. There's a lot of water worlds, and even just as a sci-fi junkie, good idea for a game. You
was
crash
very good idea.
crash land on an ocean planet that's all
Yeah.
ocean. All the gameplay has to be underwater, and they very intentionally set out for themselves. You don't shoot anything or kill anything. You can kill things incidentally, but even most of your missiles in late game just incapacitate stuff. You can slash at stuff with knives,
Sure.
but I do think, much like Minecraft, it's so smart to take the focus off of I spent the most time scanning things, and that was my favorite
I
thing
love
to
it.
do.
I
yeah.
knew I was going to get an answer like that.
Yeah.
I knew it.
And I feel like it does capture what's good about Minecraft is that mining feels like scratching lotto tickets, and you like it when you win. And then exploring is a completely different type of game. And then, like Maggie said, this game adds something Minecraft doesn't really have. It does have run away from the creeper so it doesn't blow up and fuck up your shit. But you're just like doing it because it's annoying.
Yeah.
This has actual survivor horror elements that made my pulse race, and like
very much.
I was uncomfortable and wished I hadn't come to this area and didn't like this part of the game. But then when it's over, I'm like, I do like it. It was thrilling.
Yeah.
But what actual parts where I was like, to me, the mesmer and the attention to detail of the mesmer. So the mesmer is a creature that if it's these beautiful organic moments, like I happened to not encounter it for 40 hours. And I'd seen the fucking Leviathan and horrible shit that I hope to never see as long as I live. But I had not encountered a mesmer. So it was surprising that there was still a new fish that I didn't know about. And then what it does is it locks onto your vision, and you can't not look at it and swim towards it. And if you have your radio out at the time, it's fully hallucinatory. This is the attention to detail I love. Have you guys hit a mesmer with your radio in hand?
I have not.
I don't.
If your radio's in hand, the comforting computer voice in fragmented, bizarre language starts going like, for full survival, swim towards the light. The light is survival. Oxygen is the light. And it was so fucking creepy to me. I was like, I hate this creature and whoever programmed that it exists. It just looks at you, and it's a jellyfish, and your controls go away, and you start floating towards it. Love it.
That was a great thing about this game.
The game's really scary.
Very cool creatures.
Yes,
I loved
great creature design.
that was a part. All the everything they did to make it feel like a real animals, with real stuff you can learn about them.
Yeah.
I am a nerd.
Because when you're in the shallows and it's light out, or you're building your base or something, similar to Minecraft, it feels like playing a Zen phone game. The score is amazing, and everything's very peaceful.
The score is the best score I can think of for a game like this since Metroid.
Yes.
It's
Meaning
almost
not
as good as Metroid.
Mario theme where it's a catchy hook.
Right.
It's a theme you can somehow listen to for 20 hours without going, I'm so fucking sick of this, which is hard to write.
If they had added the sound that when you discover an item happens in Metroid. No, I'm not going to do it.
Do it. Do it. I'm loving it.
Yeah.
I'm loving you.
No, but if they'd added that
Sure.
to this game, every time you discover a thing, I feel like it would I would have just had that brain tickle that's perfect.
Yeah.
What those ASMR people have, that would have happened to me. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Just
Yeah.
Man, I can make your scalp tingly if you need. Talk to me later.
Ooh.
What a great podcast.
Yeah. What a great podcast about 60% of which bears on the game Subnautica.
For sure. No, but for real, the sound design and music for this game are secret MVPs because every biome has a slightly different sound, an atmosphere and music.
That takes over.
Yeah.
And it feels immediately distinct.
And score also modulates itself,
Yes.
really sound design does, based on depth, what kind of suit you're in, what time of day it is.
Yeah,
Really
you're
cool.
right. Honestly, playing, I didn't pay too much attention to it, but yeah, you're right.
It's secret.
I don't think it would not be as enjoyable without it.
Definitely.
The right way of muffling sound when you're in a helmet versus the sound of being underwater but your ears are out in the water is so cool.
It's really well sound designed, better than most games.
Oh, and the other thing Minecraft doesn't have is when we play Minecraft long term, we always end up having to come up with a game ourselves, which I like sometimes. But I fell off our Twitch stream, as super fans will know. Small Beans has a Twitch stream that's has been Minecraft forever, even they are easing off.
It's Red Dead now.
But I fell off early, 10 sessions before they finally got bored.
Yeah.
Because I was just too bored to keep playing Minecraft. Because when you'd log in, you'd be like, what do you guys want to do? And you'd have to make up what to do and then do it. This game has a sequence of nested unlocking things that are just an excuse to push you further out from your home base. And I love that.
I think that's cool.
Yeah.
That there's actually some guidance where they go, every 15 minutes you intercept a new, because when your ship disintegrated, 150 escape pods scattered, only you survive the impact, but every 20 minutes you pick up a new distress signal, and of course they're all placed such that they try to time it so that you're like, Now that you have this suit, you can go to this
go
depth,
here.
so you get a radio signal for a thing that makes you go there.
This
I
is-
like
I
that.
love-
This is a
love
game.
that.
I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
Oh no, that was all I was gonna say. I love that aspect.
Give us a
about
weird noise we haven't heard yet on this episode.
it.
Great.
You're
I want to say you
awesome.
make. I want to say you make that sound when you discovered titanium.
Titanium.
Yeah, like that. So I was gonna say before that really washed my
What
brain
were you
clean
gonna
of
say?
points.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Do you know what you were gonna say?
I'm not sure if I do anymore.
Great.
There was a chance in this game that there was going to be another human, I thought. Like, this is one of those games where you really don't know exactly where it's leading.
Oh,
And I think that's a cool
And
component
we
of
didn't
it.
Yeah, we didn't even
Uh-huh.
mention the major plot beats for a game with nothing in it. It actually works like a mumblecore movie or like a movie
Yeah, a little bit.
that lets
Yeah.
you be bored or in a state of subtle contemplation for a long time,
Yeah.
and then someone gets their face chewed off. So like when there was a twist that was a story beat, I appreciated it so much more than Minecraft that I was like, I'm having a feeling. Like when the ship, the first time they're so good at withholding and
Yes,
then
they are.
giving. I was like 15 hours in and totally satisfied with the game being you
Just
crash
build shit,
landed on an
yeah.
empty planet, so you build a ship and get back
Yeah,
home.
you Gilligan's Island this thing.
And then you walk to a random area, and for the first time in the game, no one told you, no one broadcast it, you discover alien ruins, and you're like, you legitimately, because they even explicitly set up a universe where humans have not made first contact. We
Right.
just are exploring our galactic neighborhood. It felt like I really discovered alien life. It was so
Yeah.
exciting. And then when an escape vessel came to save me and they set it up for 18 hours, it's the only human voice you've heard, and you're like, that must be how the game ends, is they land and that's the end of the game, and they get fucking shot out of the sky right in front of you. It is so impactful.
It's very rewarding.
It's
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
It takes
in the way that a
risks.
good
It's
twist
wonderful.
in a movie
Yeah.
would be. Yeah.
I wish I didn't play this game the way I play a lot of games, which is like kind of only loosely following the narrative when I think it's going to be boring. Like this is one I'm like, I wonder if I would have really, really enjoyed it at like hour 30 if I had never been split attentioned anywhere.
Did Adam learn a lesson?
No. I'm like
No.
Seinfeld when it comes to video games. I'd never learn a lesson.
Did you guys get into the main ship before it went nuclear?
Of course.
Okay.
Had to.
I did
That's how
like.
you clean up the nuclear waste. Spoiler.
Well, apparently you can actually, if you just explore infinitely, there is a time where it will blow up.
I did just find out. I
and
didn't
that's
know
that.
that was
You don't have
possible.
access
Yeah.
I
to
didn't
that
know
for
that.
the rest of the
Oh.
game.
There's
yeah.
that's possible.
That's how you found out?
No,
You found out by-
I found it
Googled
out
it.
on Google.
Yeah, much like Minecraft, unless you have no life or this is the only video game you like, use the community. Like, I feel like it's not the kind of game where you're like, you looked it up. It's like, yeah,
I agree.
there's a million
Yeah.
things to combine
I
to
totally
make
agree.
random bullshit. You got to look it up.
I'm not going to look for where nickel is. I'm going to Google it after I
Organically.
gave it a real
Yeah.
shot. That's it. I'm going to give it a real
Yeah.
shot.
Did you
And once
guys end up finding the world map that has... People love the game,
that
so...
somebody made
that
it.
has like
yeah.
color coded
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my
with
God,
every which way the currents
no.
flow and where
Yeah, yeah.
every animal is at
Oh,
what
yeah.
depth.
Looking
And
I found the
Yeah.
nerd shit. I found
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
I didn't
Shit.
care much about it, but I did find
No,
it.
but the map is helpful.
It's very helpful.
Whoever actually made that map did a great job.
Okay, guys. This is,
Uh-huh.
to me, just a couple of quick tent pole questions.
Yeah.
Great.
How many bases did you actually make that you lived in at some point?
1.
1,
2.
2, 4. I made 4 bases. Here's why I did
Okay.
it. Because I got tired of having to go down to different places and then deal with the fucking submarine. I hated the
I
submarine.
love-
I was bad at manning the submarine.
I hated the
I
submarine.
scraped
Wow.
it
I mean, I thought it was cool,
gonna
but I
ask-
hated
several
it.
times. I crashed it. Oh, the first time I played, I immediately crashed it.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Did you lose it?
Yes.
Ooh.
But I don't remember being that mad, so I was maybe able to
recover
it
fix
quickly or something. I don't remember being very angry, but I do remember feeling like a huge idiot.
Now,
Only because I didn't expect it to do that.
Be
I
a
don't-
submarine? Like be
Yeah.
an unwieldy
do
submarine?
you
I
mean
think I
the
expected it
you
to
mean the
coddle
full
me.
size submarine?
Yeah.
Not the
Okay.
Seamoth.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna
No,
say,
yeah.
okay, you guys were actually confusing me. I'm like, the sea moth is like my best friend.
Yes.
What are you
No,
saying?
Absolutely.
Love the sea
When
moth.
you get in, it's so comforting for it to be like,
Right.
welcome
It's like,
back.
Welcome. You can breathe here. And you're like, oh, thank God.
Thank God, sea
I'm going to go
moth.
everywhere now.
God.
And then a giant sea snake, of which there are many
But
varieties.
then
in
you
this game.
Yes.
you
What's your
slowly
base?
build the ability to trank dart it and electrocute the surface
Yes,
of
you
the
do.
sea moth.
And it's great.
And that's what the tech tree is also very well thought out, robust.
Mm-hmm.
You are constantly gaining actual new abilities. And like Adam and I have said in other episodes, in interactive entertainment, it does seem crucial that your power-ups, or it's more satisfying when your power-ups actually change the way you interact with the game.
Yeah.
Instead of just being like your bullets change color or shoot faster.
Right. Or
And
it's more
in-
laser.
And in this, right,
More laser.
every time I reached a new plateau, it totally changed how I played. Like, I would argue they are too aggressive with how hungry you get, how fast.
Yes,
You
it's a
guys
little
hungry
fast.
a lot.
Yeah. I
like-
don't think I played on the mode where I got
Oh.
hungry.
Oh.
Specifically because I
Oh.
heard people did not
Interesting.
like it.
That's a big deal.
I
Yeah,
had to. I had to
didn't.
develop some kind of farm loop to get it to be not annoying.
Guys, you got to go to that ship and get all those nutrient blocks.
Well, what
You
I
get a
did
nutrient
is
block.
version of the game
And yeah,
where
and then
you can-
then start
again,
farming.
eventually you get the grav gun, and it doesn't matter because with the grav gun and the ion blade, you can just cook fish in the ocean and stuff it in your face.
Truth.
But that's what I'm getting at is like the power ups actually would be like, oh, a thing I've been doing on a cycle for hours because it's the way to do it, like putting algae in the power thing. I now have a heat vent energy, so my daily routine is different now.
Yep. way
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
You felt real consequences, which I think a lot of games can be like, "Ooh, who cares?"
And I actually like that things in the base, unlike Minecraft, where unless something blows up, it's always fine. Things require maintenance
Yeah.
and can degrade.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
So you actually feel like I live in this world. I have a daily routine. I got to go check on the crops, and then I'm going to process stuff in energy, and then I'll go up and get the batteries from last night, and
Yep.
and then I'll go explore in the
Yep.
heat of the
Yeah.
day.
I-
It's awesome.
I got real frustrated the first time my base got flooded.
Oh,
Because that happens a couple of times to you, probably, right? Okay, other question for you. How many times did you rebuild your base for aesthetics?
Other than just adding on, you mean like
Like,
deleting
I
and
want this to
changing?
look better, so I
don't
rebuilt
Yeah.
it.
think I really did that, which is surprising.
That
because
is
I really
surprising.
like
Dozens and
decorating
dozens
things.
of times an hour.
Yep. Yep. I rebuilt the thing to be made entirely of glass once.
What?
And that was a pain in the ass.
Oh.
And I
It
was like, I
looks
can't do
beautiful,
that.
and then it floods
Yep,
immediately.
yep, can't do that. Then I
Even
was
one
like,
of those fucking sharks that turn out to be very friendly
They
will
do.
just come and destroy it.
Yeah.
They're so scary at first.
they'll bite your face
and then
right
now,
off.
by the time you're meeting Leviathans, you're like,
Like,
those
"Aw."
sharks are my friends now. Because they mean I'm in a relatively safe area.
Oh my
That
god,
is correct.
Oh, and this is one of the only games I've ever encountered where you actually succeed by learning something, meaning not a puzzle like, oh, the designer arbitrarily has a block that goes there. A quintessential component of this game is the thing where something like you observe in the wild yourself that those sharks like to grab metal and play fetch with it. And then for the future, as soon as you actually know that, you actually learn about the fucking ecosystem and it actually
Yeah.
benefits you because you need a lot of metal. And if you see one of those sharks, you can fucking
You're like,
follow
"Oh,
it for a while and it
uh-huh."
will hunt down metal for you. The game does not tell you that. You have to actually observe something
love that.
and apply the knowledge with no one telling you that that's what
It's
you're
a
supposed
little
to do.
so like it's a little different than Breath of the Wild because Breath of the Wild it's like here's another weird quirky thing that you can do.
Yeah.
Or Grand Theft Auto, like here's another thing we included: archery. Okay,
Yeah.
I guess you can archer. Fine, you can shoot arrows. Great, but have you shot exploding arrows? There's a whole range
Yeah.
for that. Got it. Understood. Subnautica rewards the scientifically minded,
Yes.
like in a
And the
very
observant.
gentle,
Yeah.
not condescending way. Which I appreciated. Like what you said is true, and they definitely do put it in the forefront of your mind in some ways.
Yes.
that those things fight. Like
they don't make it like hard to figure
No.
out, but it feels very rewarding when you realize it
Yes.
because you feel like you realized it in the wild on your own.
And it gives the monster a kind of characteristic that makes you way more endeared to it.
Yeah.
To know that, oh, the different fish have different behavior patterns. Like real animals have different things that they do and don't do. That's just so great.
I liked it.
Like, I don't know. I'm pretty sure in Red Dead Redemption 2 even, it's just like buffalo, all they really need to know is they stay in this area and they wander around. They actually went like, well, it's an underwater ecosystem, right? So this animal would live by doing this. It's this amount aggressive, but if the player gets this far away, it doesn't care anymore. But it loves shiny things, so it rams the seam off. Like, they made behavioral ecological decisions and wove them in.
At least for like maybe 10 things.
It's not,
There's like
and
10 or 15
like Maggie
things.
said, it's not incredibly deep,
Yeah.
but it's enough that the game is bringing survival horror, crafting, the sheer joy of just mining and mining, mining until you get rewarded with things popping out, building an aesthetic home, and the pure joy of discovery. Like, it feels like you were playing Myst or something.
Yeah.
Like, this is a game to me that is perfectly scaled.
Like, fish joke.
Yeah.
Hey!
But you know how like a lot of movies or games or things are bad because they weren't scaled correctly?
Yes.
This game
Too big, too
was
small.
still ambitious, but it was scaled correctly, and they achieved it right. So like a good contrast to that is No Man's Sky. You guys ever played No Man's Sky?
Did you just look over your shoulders if someone was
He's
going to
checking for our next guest.
That's right. And I thought
okay.
I thought they were gonna like space invade me just
Okay,
for
I thought there was
mentioning
someone
How
like a
dare
No
you
Man's
mention that
Sky.
shit
like,
pile
I'm
over
gonna,
there.
I'm gonna
How
laser
dare
the
you-
aluminum right out of your eyes.
How dare you mention that tech demo dressed up as a game?
No, but for real, like No Man's Sky is very similar to this game.
Except the development team in this game
Was
understood the level they were operating
Yeah,
at
they were
and
very
scaled it
smart.
appropriately.
Correct.
No Man's Sky is like someone similarly had a great idea for a new technology that does change the fabric and create a new feel for how a game could work. And then they're like, this deserves to make us a AAA franchise. Let's say we are and go big. And it was like, no, Subnautica comes in and is just humbly like, we have some ideas. And you're like, this is great, guys.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
nice.
They're like,
There is that sense to it,
We
isn't
can't
there?
make horrific Dr. Moreau-ish abominations, but we can
Yeah.
deliver good game. So
Yeah.
how
How
about
about
that? Is
No
that
Man's
okay?
Sky was an exercise in like
hilarity?
just pointing at the outfield fence so hard.
Yeah.
Just wait for it.
And then a big strikeout. Just strike 3 immediately.
And yet, like Subnautica, there is substance to No Man's Sky.
yeah.
If you didn't make it way bigger than you had the manpower to populate, and if you didn't try to say it was going to change gaming forever, it wouldn't have been like the Segway. Remember
Yeah.
when the Segway? There were quotes when the Segway was invented where like, Steve Jobs has put in $1 billion of his own money, and the quote is, I can't say anything about it, but it's going to change the way human civilization builds cities. And you're like, not really.
And then immediately you see Job on Arrested Development using it.
Yeah.
And you're like, I don't know if I want to be that
It's
guy.
going to change the way mall cops patrol is about it.
Wow.
I mean, you know, I'm sure he thought himself, he was like, I've seen Judge Dredd.
No
You know what I
Man's
mean?
Sky Next, though. No Man's Sky Next did fix a lot. But
Yes,
again,
but-
everyone's talking about the next thing by then, so you really
Right.
made a poor decision
Well,
in the first place.
and again, I just think it's a good contrast for a very similar idea, but it's so much worse
Yes.
than Subnautica because it's not contained,
Well, we're shitting on things.
you know?
New indie game that I downloaded just because it had so many
Oh.
glowing reviews. Outer Wilds.
Oh.
Sucks.
You're hating
Is
it.
it
Yeah, you're
suck?
hating that.
It's like Cosmic Osmo, but bad.
Yeah.
Which is funny because Cosmic Osmo was a black and white still frame game, and I still think it's more engaging than Outer Wilds.
Okay, so I just want to ask you, how many
Uh-huh.
times did you...
This is your Subnautica. What's your Subnautica game?
How many times did you run out of battery power on your sub?
Almost
I think
never.
I was pretty good at
I was
that.
really good
I don't
at
think
that.
I felt like I played a very cautious game, and that I didn't spend a lot of time, making my base look pretty. I kind of just like wanted to beat
Like, this
it,
is
I
a
guess.
real... Like
Yeah.
a really
Defensible.
efficient...
I really I was very like emotionally affected by it in a good way. Like I was very
Yeah.
afraid. I felt very rewarded when I discovered things. So I was very emotionally invested in this.
As an occasional watcher of your stream where you were playing this game,
Yeah.
I am surprised you didn't spend more time on the base. I really am.
Really?
Yeah.
It's also
genuinely
fun to
surprised.
watch for the people.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
While we're talking base aesthetics, before I forget,
Yeah.
the game is glitchy, which you mentioned.
Yeah.
and I had the best glitch happen to me, which is by the way, did you guys make your base super deep and fuck with heat vents? I didn't want to feel unsafe in my base. I made my base in a very easy, shallow, nice area.
I built a base almost exactly on the last boss, man.
Did you
That's
really?
weird to do.
I'll tell you why. Because I needed the shit that was around there.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what, man? I can't do a sub journey all the way down here
Every
for an
time.
hour
Yeah.
and then go all the way back to the surface.
Because there's also
That's
caves.
probably the best way to do it.
That's
I
what it's
God.
supposed to happen.
want to.
And just the concept
You can thermal
of
vent that
being
shit.
underwater is so primal to humans that it just scares me.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
even though
It's
it's
scary down there.
imaginary, when you're in the underground river and it's like the temperature outside is negative 100 degrees and your screen starts cracking and frosting up and they're like, oxygen level almost
fucking
depleted.
feel it. Oh
You
my
really
God.
feel fucked.
It's very stressful. What is?
Oh, and those things that can teleport you, fuck them. But
hate
wait,
them, yeah.
I gotta get this out.
Okay, here you go.
My base had a glitch,
yes.
and it was in a nice shallow area where this would have been terrible, where all the sea life ignored my walls. But there wasn't water generated inside, so I had all the pleasant fish, like the one with the hole in
Yeah.
it, just like swimming in the air in my base. They swam around.
That's
through
Very
my base.
rewarding.
I liked it.
So
That's good.
I had what I'll call a rainforest regret moment with one of my bases.
Oh, cool.
I decided early on, I was like, you know what? I'd like a nice view. So I put my first base. I'm serious. I really did.
No, I believe you. I'm laughing at your thought. That's what you wanted.
I did. I'm like, I want a nice view.
Yeah.
Like I want a high value, high mortgage version of this fucking base. So like, I built the base in the middle of the sea kelp forest, right? Mm-hmm. And then
Good location.
it was primo. Looked
Oh
great.
my God.
Listing went high. Anyway,
Whoa.
so
I don't want to live somewhere where I look outside and it's blood red. I don't like that.
it's not blood red in there. It's green, my friend.
The kelp
green, the
forest?
color.
Oh, that's well. What am I thinking of? This grass
Are you
sea? There's the
colorblind?
red grass. Is
yeah,
a
yeah,
different.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
talking about
Okay,
that. I'm
okay.
talking about the actual kelp forest,
Where
right?
there's the clusters of
Yes.
oil.
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct, and also where the
Sharks mostly
shark
live.
and shark buddies are. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I built it, but in order to build it, every time you expand that base, it tears up a little bit of the kelp forest until finally, by the time I was done expanding my base, there was no kelp forest left.
I found out you can even overfish a particular
Yes,
area
you
of the
can.
food fish and
Yeah.
then until they're gone.
That's true.
Shit.
And like I overfished around my base and was like, why can't I just go get breakfast right out the hatch? And I realized, oh, there's actually a mechanism where if you fish too
Yeah.
often, they're
Whoa.
gone.
So you know what I did?
What'd you do?
I built about 100 planters, and I just replanted a fucking kelp forest.
Right. It'll grow forever.
That's what I did. I actually made a new biome out there because I was like, I really wanted it to look cool. That's what I did. I was like a real Dr. Moreau in this game. I got some blood oil.
Yeah.
I got one of those blood oil pustules, and I was fueled for years down there. It was fucking great. You know?
Yeah, the
That's
growing.
very impressive.
And it's also like Harvest Moon because I got to say,
Mm-hmm.
it actually takes a while to get to the point where you can farm on a large scale. But when you can, I also found the farming really satisfying.
It is very satisfying.
Yeah.
Especially if you have a thing that converts all the waste material into energy.
Mm-hmm.
It's just there's so many things to have and do.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah,
It's really
this game's
fun.
like when you build your base, it's like BioShock without the terror and drug use.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Remember how like
Yeah.
once in a while in
But I bet
BioShock
the
you'd
one-
look out there and be like, this is beautiful. My
Yes.
God, look how beautiful it
What's
is
the
out
boss
there.
of the game called? Is it a Leviathan or
It's
those?
uh,
The Leviathans are the big snakes that will fuck you up.
This is like the
That's
half
the
dragon,
go-
half
yeah.
octopus.
But there's a thing that walks on the ground that's even worse. What's it
Well,
called?
the final
Treader?
boss. The final boss is like a half octopus, half dragon thing.
yeah.
I haven't finished, so I also don't know the end of the story.
Oh,
I think
shit!
that is
Well, I
a
don't
lo-
want to spoil
it's
it.
it's the
I don't want to spoil it for you. But
Well, similar to Red Dead, I'm deciding to take the middle to play it as long as I want and then
Sure.
finish it. Yeah.
but are you
Yeah.
aware of the fact that there's an illness?
yes,
Yes.
and I'm infected,
Mm-hmm.
and some alien agent is tracking me down as
Correct.
a result.
Okay,
Yeah.
so as long as you understand those facts, then the ending will be rewarding. For you.
And I've
Yeah.
been to several of the alien monoliths, and I've been to several failed Terra bases. I also love that you can build bases on land, which for some
Yeah.
reason I don't know why. As I approached, again, just as exciting for me as seeing the dragon for the first time in the Breath of the Wild,
Yeah.
or discovering
Yeah.
oh there are aliens in this game. I forgot how impactful it was the first time I ever encountered land at all. I was like, oh, there's land?
I
didn't know there was
shocked,
any
honestly.
land in this game. And so the other base I built was on land just for, variety's sake.
Just for doing it.
But I never built a base down below where the light could reach because I don't want to feel that way when I'm in my base.
know, I
That's
think
why
I
you
was
build
too
some floodlights,
afraid.
bro. Build some floodlights down there.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm gonna tell you guys, you're not adventurous enough with your bases.
But
I was scared a lot.
You got to
of the
get yourself a
game.
lot of lithium.
Yeah.
You're gonna reinforce the shit out of those holes.
Okay.
And you're gonna have a whale of a time down there.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Fish
it's gonna
joke.
be great. I'm gonna keep
So
doing
I
it.
will say,
Fish joke.
hey, I fillet. Fish
Yeah.
fillet? No, that's not. I've been watching too much Gordon Ramsay. He
That
calls it
joke was
fillet.
delicious.
Oh, I love Gordon Ramsay.
He's great, right?
great.
He's fine.
He'd die so fast on Subnautica.
Yeah, he
So what ended it for me, because I do think it's important to hammer home that this is an indie game that's glitchy, because a lot of listeners are probably deciding whether to play it and may not have heard of it.
You should, but it will be frustrating.
The game kind
Yeah,
of is stalled out for me literally because of a game-breaking glitch, and that's very discouraging in a game like this
Yeah.
because your base is so...
Yeah.
And the materials are so rare.
Yep.
It took me a long time to build the rocket pad
Yep.
and a long time to build the submarine.
Yep.
And they spawned intersected with one another and can't be used or separated.
Oh,
But you can unbuild them.
I can
right?
unbuild them
Yeah.
and
And have the
spend
materials back.
another 20 hours regathering.
No, you can unbuild them and get the materials back.
Not in... I forget because it's been too long, but
Yeah.
believe me,
Yeah.
I was 80 hours in. It's fucked up
tried
in a
it,
way
yeah.
that it won't
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
Maybe it just won't lock onto it, but I mean,
Yeah.
I would have thought of that. I
Yeah.
don't remember why.
Yeah.
But it's broken. I've tried every which. I built I read someone online who had a similar glitch, built a second submarine, and continuously rammed the submarine until it dislodged and then unbuilt everything.
Whoa.
But I've tried ramming the submarine 10
Yeah.
times. It just gets tedious.
That's when
and
you
it
make
nudges
a
an inch.
That's when you make a double marine, like one of those double neck guitars,
yeah.
and you're driving them both. You know?
So I have an Adam type question.
Ooh,
Ooh.
I like those
You like your own questions.
Was the
ego problems.
how excited were you to get? Oh, and then also on the vein of power ups changing
Yeah.
things, I think it was very smart for every new mode for there to be many modes of transportation.
Yes.
and for them to
Yes.
fundamentally change the way you move.
Yep.
But also, did you hate using the prawn suit?
Yes!
It's hard.
I hate
Yeah.
the prawn suit. Even when I got the
Yeah.
fucking grapple hook,
I would
and
get the
drill
hang
arm, I
of
still
it,
hated
but
it.
it's still hard.
It was like, just let me Seamoth through here, bro. Just
Yeah.
give me a depth ratio with the Seamoth so I can sail through this dragon mouth. I got really frustrated by that shit.
And
Legit.
yet, when you get a good grappling hook run and are hurtling along at 80 miles an hour in the prawn suit, you are like, it's cool how each mode of transport is very different from the other, but I got to get back to my Seamoth.
I mean,
Yeah.
the prawn suit becomes essential to the end game because, like, you
Only
and
because it can withstand the depth.
it's
Right.
yes, and you have to use the drill arm stuff to get some of the
materials,
you need.
Yeah.
and it's clear to me that the prawn suit was designed to be carried around by the submarine and then deposited. And that's
Yes.
kind of a fun experience. Like, it's very James Cameron-esque.
Even though the
You know what I
submarine's
mean?
unwieldy,
Yeah.
I think it's fun to be
It is.
inside a giant vehicle that you have to run. Literally, this submarine in this game is so large that it's not like you lock in and the camera zooms up and now you control the submarine. You're still in first-person mode, and you literally have to run from panel to panel and like
To look
run
where
the
you're
submarine.
going.
I hated
I know.
that.
I like the prawn suit better than I liked the submarine. I think I'm just bad at it.
Found it really hard and frustrating.
Yeah.
But my hat is off to the level
It's a
of
good idea.
Ingenuity.
Yeah. For sure.
And the level of end game satisfaction where even though it is hard to do, and you literally kind of chuckle and you're like, well, I'll never do that again, but all this work was just to do it once, like you
Right,
said.
right.
It still is momentously satisfying the one time you do it.
Agreed.
To load your prawn suit into your personal submarine,
Yeah.
go to the bottom of the ocean in your submarine, eject the prawn suit, rappel down a cave wall, and use a giant drill.
Because you started with nothing.
Yeah.
You crash landed, and now you have built a submarine.
Right.
It's so like.
You start
the
with
rocket's
a-
also satisfying for the same reason.
Yeah.
You start with a scanner and a switchblade.
Right.
I love it.
And fear.
What is
and
the
you end with confidence in a submarine
Exactly.
carrying a prawn suit around with a drill
so
arm.
when you build the rocket, I assumed you just
your
got
page.
onto the rocket to trigger the end of the game. Is that not accurate?
There are many switches that must be flipped, but
And then,
they are
yes.
not narratively important.
But I guess, I mean, do you ever get like a Final Fantasy style airship where you can lift the rocket and set it down elsewhere?
no, the rocket lives
Okay.
where you build it.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
That's another thing is
Also
because
very Pikmin.
because they're intersected.
Thank you for knowing that game.
My
I love that
launch
game.
platform is at a 45-degree angle because it's stuck inside my submarine.
Yeah.
So when I went to the dock and built my rocket, it just slid into the sea and it's at the bottom of the sea. And I can build as many rockets as I want and they just fall off. It sucks.
Build another rocket pad.
That does suck. Yeah, things
I'm really
like that, I
enjoying
don't
the glitch you
No,
got
I-
here. That's a pretty good one.
I did not have that.
I
many
could, of
glitch
course, fix this
experiences.
by just... but also, here's the thing. This giant mass of metal that can't easily be moved is right outside the window of my bedroom where I sleep.
Oh.
And I
Vanity.
do, to me, as Adam knows and longtime listeners know, getting lost in my imagination that these stupid games are really happening is important to me.
Yeah.
Which is why there can be games that are super, super fun and I don't like them because the story was sterile or whatever.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So, like, it's important to me. It ruins the game that in my bedroom there's a giant thing that reminds me that I'm in a game
Yeah.
floating outside the window.
This game,
That's very fair.
So I could fix it, but I'd have to start over and I don't want to.
this game was better than most at that kind of immersion.
Yeah.
Like, you do
Oh,
forget.
yeah.
I mean, even and I was like listening to other podcasts and stuff while I was doing it, and I still felt immersed like playing it.
Immersed. Great.
I'm doing so good.
Yeah. Oh
Holy
my
shit!
God.
It's like I have a list of them written down.
Speaking of which, I'm
But I
sorry to
don't.
break in for this, guys, but I've got the Small Beans budget and this podcast is underwater.
No.
What else is there? What
That's
else?
it.
What
That's
other
the only last one
things
that there
are
was.
jokes?
Starfish was tragically killed today.
I don't know. Octopus? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a recurring dream where I'm
Ooh.
drowning.
Yeah,
And
bad.
then I like breathe in my sleep, but also underwater, and then I can breathe underwater. And they increased in frequency when I was playing this game
Wow.
significantly.
That's
But
cool.
so, is the dream always a feeling of triumph at the end?
Yes. I've
That's
never
pretty
yet
good.
drowned.
And do you
Thus
give your
far.
voice up to the Witch Queen and Mary Eric, or do you
Yeah.
just stay with
No,
the
of
albatross?
course I give
and
up
the
my
combs?
voice for the cute guy. Of course I do.
That's fair.
Yeah. Then I get legs.
And I haven't started Below Zero, but I really should.
I'm gonna
I
play
haven't
that game.
either.
I just
Like
forgot
soon.
that game exists. I'm gonna play
Yeah,
it.
because it's so the twist on the sequel, listeners, is another ocean planet. This one is Arctic, though.
Dun, dun, dun.
So
It's gonna be so
penguins
good.
instead of
Yeah.
fish, orcas instead of seals, and again, alien fish and well thought through alien fish. Every fish has a very unique artistic design. And it's
satisfying.
different from all the other fish. I love the fish with the hole in it. I'm like, that's just such
You
a
love that
funny,
so
cute
much.
design.
It's so
I-
cute.
It's
So-
the logo of the game. Like,
Yeah.
I do because I feel like we have a tendency with indie games or games that are close to indie to be like, it's good, but it's good, and like then kind of wax poetic about how good it is, which of course it is because we wouldn't cover it if it was bad and it was an indie game probably, right? But I do want to point out, other than the frame rate, other things that are frustrating about it.
Yes.
Because I feel like we should.
That's fair.
Here's one of them. The air pipes. Did you use those fucking air pipes?
No, and I also didn't
I
use.
don't think
They were infuriating.
I didn't
Were
use the
they?
drone.
Yes.
I don't think I
Drone
used
cameras
them.
to any great effect
I didn't.
at all.
Those were useless. I agree. There was a few things that were useless in this game.
In general,
That's true. Yes.
snapping base components together was not as smooth as I wish it was.
Like the moon bath, right, is a thing that never fits
Yes!
anywhere.
The
And it's
moon
like,
pool?
Yeah, the moon
I
pool.
built
sorry.
that thing and I had no immediate satisfaction. It's like, okay, now Okay.
It also doesn't snap in with your Lego set very easily,
Yeah.
right? Same with like the observatory. It also doesn't snap into your Lego set very well.
Right.
And you're like, come on, bro. But the worst thing. The fucking worst thing is, did I already say observatory? I did, right?
Yes.
Yeah. That's the one that made me angry. I'm sorry. I just
so
don't
mad
say
I
it
said
it
just
twice.
because like I just want to be able to sit in there and look at the palace I made, and I
Yeah.
can't do it.
Yeah.
Fuck you, bro.
yeah, I had a really hard
Yeah.
time getting hatches to go where I wanted them to.
Yes, hatches were feisty.
But not so hard that, and I'll give up on a game if it's tedious.
I will
I
quit.
definitely will. But it wasn't so tedious that I didn't persevere. And when I finally did get it the way I want, it was very enjoyable to go in my base and walk around and look at all the shit I made.
It does say a lot about this game that the kind of vexation it it creates, which, like you described, I lost hours of saves at times.
Yes.
Because
Oh
it doesn't
my
does
autosave.
that.
Yeah.
It doesn't autosave often
It doesn't
at all.
autosave, right.
Yeah.
So, like, I still came back and played it, whereas if I played, like, anything titled
I think that's a good
Assassins,
indicator.
anything,
Yeah.
or
And you
Call
know
of
what?
anything,
You'd be like,
I'm
that's
like,
that.
fuck this.
You'd be like, maybe
This
I'll
game's
play
over.
this. Maybe I'll play this again in 8 years from the beginning.
Exactly.
But not right now.
Maybe
Yeah.
I'll play it again when Mike makes me for a podcast, you know,
Yeah.
or not at all. But this game was very winsome in that way, and I think it deserves to be respected.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good end.
Yeah.
It was good. The feeling of when you first go into like the open ocean for the first time with your sub is just like, that's such a rare feeling that I haven't had in a game in so long. Just like pure scared and excitement. And yeah.
And when you have the Seamoth and a gravity gun and darts and everything and a water purifier and a solar charger, and you remember when all you were doing was swimming in a wetsuit and fins,
Maggie's doing an empathetic
Yeah.
shimmy, by the way. Keep going.
you are like, how far we've come. Like, what a
Yep.
pitiable loser I was.
sure.
Now, of course I can survive on this planet.
Yeah.
I am
delivers-
lord
it.
of this, like, humanless, depopulated ocean world.
It delivers like things that are sort of like tentpole things in video games to a hilarious degree. Like the feeling of like, I am so good at this game now is like
so
massive in
right.
this game
Yeah.
compared to
Yeah.
like, you know, whatever, any other game when you get really good at it. It's really good.
Yeah.
I this game very winsome. I have to recommend it to anybody that
and
I
we
think
should
it's
all.
really fun. I don't even think. Listen, if you if you start playing and you don't feel like you want to finish it, I think it's still rewarding, even
Yeah.
if you don't make it to the end, because every point along the way feels rewarding.
There are some games where I need to know the ending before I can decide if I liked it. I already know I love this game.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that ending yet.
Yeah.
yeah, I think I would argue that the narrative gets a little bit forced on you.
The narrative's
in
so
the
light,
third
though. I
act.
mean, like, the ending
Well,
could be...
it isn't though.
In the
That's the thing.
very end, it's bottom loaded with
Yes,
story.
big time. Big time.
But no, even
not in a
if,
bad
that's
way.
what I'm
Yeah,
saying
not in
is,
a bad way.
even if
You
at the
know.
end they just show Suicide Squad and that's the story of the game,
What if?
I would still be like, but it was so fun. It actually wouldn't
yeah.
detract that
I
much.
wish
Yeah.
they did that just to prove you would not think that. You'd be like, this is garbage now.
Unskippable. You have to watch
You would
Suicide
think it was
Squad.
garbage.
And then the creator of Subnautica just walks on frame and he's like, that story, but underwater, that's what we were going for.
Hey, we've had a hell of a time here underwater, right?
Man, it just
just the
freeze
two Game of
frames on you in
Thrones
the game,
guys.
and it's like, I guess you're wondering how I got under this water.
They just bring out Sam Elliott to
It's
give
a
you
long
the
story.
Big
Oh my
Lebowski
God.
ending. Yeah, I sure am glad we abided down here in Subnautica. I don't know
Yeah.
about you, I take comfort.
Well, it's time to pass our last checkpoint, which means very rare these days, you're right.
yeah.
We have to manually press pause and remember to save before we turn the system off and go to bed.
Well, we're losing this
Ooh.
whole podcast.
Oh
We
my
will be
God.
angry in the morning.
Oh.
Yep.
This last section is called Keep or Delete, and you basically say whether you would keep or delete this game from a hard drive of only good games. And
I think the
a couple
greatest game.
sentences on why you made your decision.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would keep it because, and I very rarely keep things that are iterative, and I do see that it's an iteration on
Yeah.
Minecraft. But this is one of the very rare cases, and I think it's rare in music too, where I'm like, the cover song's better than the original, and the cover song has 5 new elements, so I actually count it as a separate game. I would keep Subnautica for sure. Even in the Long Shadow Minecraft casts.
Maggie.
Ooh. Yeah, I have to keep it. I feel like this was a game that was just made for me. I know we all like it, but it hits all the boxes that I look for when I want to sit down and devote hours of my time to a game.
If you're listening, don't play it. It's Maggie.
It's mine, don't you dare put down that nickel. I forgot.
Put that nickel ore back in the fucking flame bed it came from. Yeah.
No, it's so rewarding, relaxing in parts, terrifying in others. I felt all the emotions. At one point,
Yeah.
I could have cried. That's a hyperbole. I don't think.
But
I cried.
yeah, I agree.
But
it hits
was-
every emotional
Yeah.
state without doing much.
It was great. I had a blast.
Okay. These are all I agree with every single thing you guys said. I'm struggling with this game in any sense of the larger gaming world impact.
I do actually
Because
agree
I think
with
that matters
I don't know.
for keeping a thing.
I think it will have an impact. We just haven't seen it yet because it's too soon.
I don't think
If the
that's
game
I wouldn't be
keeps
surprised-
making
I don't think that's true.
games-
At
So you're
all.
saying in
Like
the
it.
whole history of future gaming, none of these gameplay mechanics will be used in other games?
Well,
I
they
doubt
didn't
that.
invent them, and they didn't really refine them. They just did a very good job with it. Like, and I,
I think
also
they
don't
did it
think,
better than I've played in a while.
For sure, I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it does anything on its own better than anybody else did it, other than being an underwater game. Which I don't mean to belittle. I think that actually really matters.
And
it's
there
a
are
cool idea.
precious few games that take
Yeah.
place entirely
Yeah,
underwater.
I think I'm gonna keep it, but I
That's
hope
boring.
that
You should
in
delete
I hope that in like 2 or 3 years, other people are imitating it because they should, because it's a great game,
Yeah.
and because I want to feel good about it being an important game.
Sure.
Yeah,
'Cause I'm
I
not
see
sure that it is.
Totally.
I'm not sure.
I hope the Arctic one is like, goes above and beyond and is
That would be good.
I also
Yeah.
think it's like the Breath of the Wild effect where I don't like Breath of the Wild as much as Adam does, and it falls apart more for me the more analytical I am. Or I'm sorry, it holds together the more analytical I am because it's well made.
Yeah.
It falls apart when I think about, but what's my gut? Do I like it? It's like, I don't actually really. I want to, and I just, and this is the opposite for me where I'm like, it's a sentimental favorite. I keep it because of how much joy it gave me.
Same.
I can't really delete it because it would be like going,
My feelings
fuck you,
don't
Adam.
matter. Yeah.
Right.
Or like, I like Adam. I
Yeah.
like Subnautica. I gotta keep it.
Right. Why
It-
did I get deleted?
it gave
in
me
this
lots
I don't know.
example.
Because you're my, that's what I'm saying. You're my best friend. So if I said, fuck you, Adam, it would be like saying, sorry, Subnautica, you gave me so much joy, but I can't keep you. Like, I actually like Subnautica enough that I'm protective of it. Like, I don't want people to shit on it. And I'm
He's
like,
a very
no,
loyal
but-
rater.
Yeah.
I like that about you. Very loyal in your ratings.
And I should let people know that, although I usually delete anything that's an iteration on another thing. This got
That
me.
usually is
This
one of our
got me.
criteria. I think this is a really good game. I hope it holds up in the long term.
I can't
That's
wait to
what-
play
yeah.
the sequel.
I
I
hope
hope the sequel had a little extra money thrown at it, and I bet it's fun.
It
Yeah.
had
I
to
also
have.
will say, I bet I'm too afraid to play in VR, but I bet this game slaps in VR.
I bet it's awesome.
I
in
bet it's
VR.
also-
I wish
act-
I had played it in VR.
I think that might be the
available in
piece that we're
VR, yeah.
missing to take it to the
Interesting.
next level, because to me, when I was playing it, I was like, this is a VR game.
I'm not convinced VR is yet a thing that matters.
I really
That's-
just wanted
yeah,
to
I
pour
don't
a
know.
glass of water on Maggie and be like, "This is VR Subnautica. How's it going for you?"
Are you enjoying the fourth dimension? Oh, you drink it.
yeah.
Yeah, went right to drinking it.
Yeah. I'll drink salt water.
So since
Right up.
Maggie has slurped up the entire ocean,
that's
and that's
it.
all the planet was,
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
we cease to exist.
There's a lot of corpses flopping around right now.
Before we fling off into space, two things. One, very big deal here on 1Upsmanship. 1Upsmanship has been growing slowly but surely. Numbers are getting pretty impressive lately, and we're starting to actually get feelers from, like legit video game entities. And the only pertinent one I'll bring up right now is that we will do this again, the three of us, but we will also be joined by Subnautica's lead designer. So in July, we're going to record an episode about Subnautica. We'll actually get to ask him what the process was like, how he thought of it, if Notch is suing him for ripping off every aspect of his life from
I'm
Notch.
excited about that.
I'm so excited.
We'll just antagonize the man and
Yeah,
question
yeah.
his
That was my
artistic
goal.
feet.
Listen, we'll bring him into our world.
I was
all
gonna
right?
decide,
He's a
we're going to
visitor.
decide whether we're going to keep or delete him at the
Yeah.
end. Right?
Yeah,
Is that the
yeah,
idea?
yeah.
So that will be our first special patron-only bonus episode of 1Upsmanship. So make sure you're a Patreon member, patreon.com/smallbeans, if you want access to our follow-up interview with Charlie about Subnautica, which Maggie will be on as well. Maggie, where can people find you, including your big backlog of hours and hours of playing Subnautica, which you streamed frequently?
I did, and I do, and it's online.
Do you still play it actively?
I don't.
Still? Okay.
I have moved on to Planet Coaster, a very similar game. In that
We know what you like.
build. I know.
We know
you
what you like.
know what I like. I got a great park. that my agents never ask me about, but I always bring up. But yeah, you can find me on Twitter and YouTube. And on YouTube, it's just my name, and I have all my backlogs of all my Twitch streams on there.
And you usually use your middle name, right?
Yeah.
And your
yeah.
stuff, and it's M-A-E, not M-A-Y.
Not M-A-Y.
Bye.
Bye.